This is JRAM.
And this is Billy.
And this is the JRAM and Billy Show.
And today we're going to be reviewing Friday the 13th.
Part 4.
The final chapter.
Stick with us.
All right, James, let's just go ahead and jump into this plot. I think everybody's kind of got the gist of what we're doing here. If you've been listening to our podcast, you should check out Friday the 13th, 1, 2, and 3 that has been out, as well as, we got a bunch of other podcasts just sprinkled on in there, various topics. So if you haven't already, definitely check us out.
And to begin with this film, with Part 3, it happened at Higgins Haven. And this happens the night after Higgins Haven.
Okay.
The beginning of the movie.
The beginning of the movie happens after the night after.
Yeah, because they're still taking all the bodies away to the morgue, including Jason's, and bringing it to the hospital.
And as we can see, even the people who work at the morgue just can't keep it in their pants.
Yeah, it's real weird. Like right off the bat, we get as you've noticed in all the other movies, there are sexually, I don't know, I wouldn't say perverse necessarily, I would just say like sexually aggressive characters.
Yeah.
Typically men, no different in this one.
Yeah, oh no. First guy we meet is Axel.
Who suggests that the dead body of a female victim is still attractive. And all you have to do is go over there, take off your pants, and the paramedic cuts him off and goes, "Real nice, Axel."
Yeah, that's just, it's
creepy.
It's just messed up, man. I don't know. That was like crossing a line.
Yeah, it was Axel, and of course then he goes on and hits on Nurse Morgan.
Yeah, which apparently they've had past escapades. Because she says, "Oh, I'm not going to fake another orgasm for you, Axel." Yeah, it was really weird.
And they meet in the cold room, which is where they keep all the dead bodies.
Yeah, so apparently that's their fucking ground.
Yeah, because they decide to do it right next to Jason's body. Of course, by now you might have discovered Jason's not really dead, even though everyone thought he was. He gets up from the slab and actually has a pretty brutal first kill.
Yeah.
He takes that saw and he cuts Axel's neck and then twists his head all the way around.
Yeah. It was brutal. Bone Saw McGraw.
Spider-Man thinking the same thing.
Yeah.
Then he kills Nurse Morgan with a scalpel. That's what that was, by the way. It was a scalpel that he used.
Oh, okay. That makes sense.
It's supposed to be the following day. So so it's now Sunday the 15th.
Yeah.
We should maybe start labeling these episodes by what real day it is. So on Sunday the 15th, the next day, a group of teenagers, which is who we're following.
Okay, wait. I just want to say, it didn't say that was the very next day.
It didn't, but no. Wikipedia tells me it was the very next day.
I'm going to assume that a bunch of teenagers aren't going to go camping in some cabin out in the middle of bumfuck nowhere on a Sunday. I mean,
it's summertime.
Okay,
they might.
Maybe. Yeah, maybe.
It wouldn't mean anything. They're teenagers. They're out of school.
Well, that's true.
So supposedly the following day, Sunday the 15th, we have a group of teenagers, or dead meat, as we could probably just call them at this point, driving to driving just to Crystal Lake for the weekend. Well, if they're driving for the week, see, that doesn't make any sense. They're driving there for the weekend. It can't be Sunday.
Yeah, I'm wanting to say that it's
not
next
week.
It's like probably maybe that Friday.
Okay,
following is what I'm thinking.
So for our timeline, which isn't canon, we'll say it's Friday the somethingeth.
The 20th, wouldn't it be?
Something like that.
7 days after the 13th, it'd be Friday the 20th, right?
I guess.
Okay.
Sure.
So yeah. So Jason's all screwed up. He doesn't have a calendar. He lives in the woods. So
yeah, I mean, with his man-child mind,
completely arbitrary at this point.
But anyway, so the group of teenagers is heading to the Crystal Lake, and we have this time around Another Paul, not to be confused with Paul from part 2,
Yeah.
who just disappears and we never hear from again, so we don't know if he's dead. I like to think he's alive. But we'll call this one Paulie so we don't get confused.
Yeah.
So we have Paulie and his girlfriend Sam. Mm-hmm. We have a virgin, Sarah, because that's kind of a plot line throughout the movie.
Yeah.
Her boyfriend Doug, the socially awkward Jimmy, played by the great Crispin Glover, a.k.a. George McFly from Back to the Future, and the jokester Ted, who is our second Rapey McRape face.
Yeah, man, there's always one. And Axel, I thought he was going to definitely be that at the first.
Nope.
No, there's got to be another one.
Oh, almost a worse one in a way.
Yeah. So they're driving down, and the Marty McFly's dad, what's his name? What's his character's name again?
His name
I'm
is
so bad about
Jimmy.
remembering. Yeah, Jimmy. So Jimmy, he's having trouble because his girlfriend kind of split up with him, and he's all like, "Oh, that's because," or Ted says, "Oh, that's because
Ted goes, hold on, let me type it into the computer." Types, and then when you're watching it, it looks like Crispin Glover is really looking at like a computer screen. Like he's so in the moment, he's acting like he's actually typing into a computer.
Yeah.
But there is no computer. It's the 80s. They don't have laptops yet.
So he's typing into a computer, quote unquote, and saying like,
And goes, oh no.
the computer. Yeah. The
computer says
that you're a dead fuck, which is a recurring insult that Ted gives to Jimmy throughout the film.
And of course it has two meanings, that he's a lousy lay.
Yeah.
But also, he's literally a dead fuck.
Yeah.
Like he's gonna die.
Yeah.
I mean, it's kind of a punny.
Yeah, I guess so. I didn't think about it that way when I was thinking like whiskey dick, like you can't get it up or something.
Yeah, that's one way he meant it. But also, knowing that it's a Friday the 13th movie, you can also kind of assume that he's a
if you have sex or smoke weed,
you're a dead fuck.
You're a dead fuck.
So on the way, they pass Pamela Voorhees' gravestone and a hitchhiker. You actually like this hitchhiker a little bit.
Yeah, she had an attitude. I liked her. She was holding up a sign that says Canada with love. She's trying to hitchhike to Canada.
And they blow past her and go, "Hey, Sonny, you got a sister? Rough." Because, the girl isn't necessarily as visually attractive as a lot of the women in the series are.
Yeah.
And so she spins the sign around and it just says, "Fuck you."
Yeah. And there's no dialogue from her at all, which makes me I just want to think she's a mute. Like
Maybe.
I just want to
Because all we see after that sign is that she opens a banana and starts to eat it.
Yeah.
And then through the back of the head, she gets killed by Jason.
Yeah.
Just garbling up banana juice and
she
blood.
Squeezes the banana so hard it just falls out of the banana peel.
Yeah, you see banana juice running out of her mouth. Kind of gross.
Yeah. So the teens, they get to where they're going, finally, after they kind of get turned around and everything. And they go to the neighbors, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
They find out that there are neighbors who live real close.
Yeah.
Trish, who's a teenage girl. Her young brother, Tommy, played by Corey Feldman.
Yeah.
Who is
from the Goonies
and other movies.
Yeah.
I'm sure a lot of you from the 80s know him and Corey Haim were a big deal and all that. But this is, and they have a dog, Gordon, and they live with their divorcee mom.
Yeah.
So they're living out there and they're all excited that there are going to be kids there. So
have we gotten to the point where they're walking in the woods yet and stumble upon the twins?
No, because that was the next day. So they meet Trish and her brother, Tommy, and then they meet the next day. They're going for a walk, and I call them the Double Mint Twins. If you remember that old commercial series, it was, it's for gum, and it talks about how anyways.
You see double.
Yeah, you see double, basically. They're twins, and the twins, Tina and Terry. Lots of T names in this movie.
Yeah.
Trish, Tommy, Tina, Terry.
Yeah, that's weird.
Anyway, they all go skinny dipping. And then Trish and Tommy happen upon them, and they invite Trish to a party at their house. Mm-hmm. And you like this, because as they're driving away from that, their car breaks down, and instead of Trish getting out to look,
The kid does.
Yeah, this 10-year-old kid who we've already seen is like a master at making Hollywood quality level face masks.
Yeah, he makes like prosthetic like faces and like other props.
Special effects.
Yeah, special effects. Like
he's a wizard. He's really good at it.
He did really good. So
they ask him to look at the car and fix it.
Because apparently he's also a mechanic.
And an electrician, as we'll find out later.
Yeah.
And that's when they meet Rob. They take Rob with them to the house.
Yeah.
Where he meets their mother, and Tommy shows him those monster masks.
Yeah, he's got like this big bag. It looks like he's been like hitchhiking or just out in the woods.
Fixing to go camping. He's got a hunting rifle, and they ask him, "What are you out hunting for?" And he goes, "Bears." And Tommy goes, "You can't be hunting for bears."
Which is interesting, considering that in the first film, second film, Paul, not Polly, was saying like, "Oh, you gotta, watch out for bears.
This is bear country. Don't use cologne or perfume. Ladies, keep yourself clean."
Yeah. But so that was a little interesting. Apparently bears have went extinct within the last 2 years.
Yeah, or at least they're in a different era. I don't know, man. It's hard.
Yeah, I don't know.
But Rob is ready to go camping. He leaves their house. So the teens begin a party. And Sam sees one of the Doublemint twins, Tina, flirting with her boyfriend, Polly.
Yeah.
And she leaves.
Yeah. Which was just really weird, because throughout the movie, she's just overtly, like, going after this chick's dude. Like,
even though it's clear that he's taken.
Yeah, it's...
And they're too...
And they're receptive right in front of... I just don't get it.
Yeah, because he's into it, which is weird, because his girlfriend is there.
Yeah.
And literally there's Ted and Jimmy, who are both single in there.
Yeah.
But
gotta say though, but both Ted and Jimmy are both pretty socially awkward. Jimmy more than Ted, but Ted's also a rapey McRape face.
Yeah, because they have a teddy bear there for some reason, even though none of them are young enough to want a teddy bear.
Yeah,
and Ted's always like, "Oh, to Mr. Teddy Bear, you want to give Teddy Bear a kiss?"
He's a fucking creep.
He forces one of the twins into a kiss, and she's like, "Yeah." And you made a good joke. She says, I need another drink. And you said, what she's really saying is,
I'm definitely going to need to be drunker to deal with you.
Which is a real sad statement of facts.
Yeah.
But anyway, so Sam leaves when Tina starts flirting with Paul. But before we go any further, there is a great dance scene.
Oh, yeah.
To a hard rock album. Love Is a Lie, I think, is the song.
Yeah, we got the themes from these Friday the 13th films, which this is going to be a new trend as for these newer podcasts that are coming out. I found this website that has all of the Friday the 13th themes and like the featured songs in the movies, and it's got the name of it. And honestly, hold on, I'm going to look it up real quick.
Because it's an 80s hair metal-y song, and we see Jimmy, again played by Crispin Glover, dance. But not dance like a normal person. No. He's dancing like he's a man having a seizure.
Yeah.
You guys should look it up and watch it on YouTube. I know there's a video. It's crazy. Like, he's just jerking and jiving and waving his arms in a windmill. Like, he's not dancing in a way that makes that woman want to dance with him.
Yeah. By the way, that website is called campblood.net, which I don't know if we even mentioned this. Camp Blood in the podcast is like a nickname for Camp Crystal Lake.
Yeah, because all the people who die there.
Yeah. So, but the track is called "Love Is Alive" by Lion. Yeah,
but it's not a bad song.
No, it's not.
And again, that dance scene is pretty funny.
Yeah.
But anyway, Sam leaves to go for a swim because it's too crowded for her. AKA, she's really fucking pissed at Polly for flirting with the girl in front of her.
Dancing with her. Like
slow dancing, like close cheek to cheek dancing.
Yeah.
And she's like ming and awing and like, it's not good.
No,
we do not approve of that behavior here at the JRAM and Billy Show.
So she goes off for a swim, gets in her skivvies.
No, she skinny dips.
Yeah, I'm saying like she's getting in her skivvies. Well, she's getting in her birthday suit, James. I don't know.
Fine.
Skivvies, is that not a term for nude?
I thought skivvies was their underwear.
Anyway, she's naked. So so she gets naked and she's like calling out like cuz she hears some twigs snapping like in the woods and she's like,
"Is that you, Polly?"
Yeah, so she's trying to be all like, "Oh, he's coming back for me." Oh, and then of course nobody comes and she's like, "Okay, screw you, Polly." And there's a raft, an inflatable raft out in the pond.
And if you've been paying attention to our podcasts, you know that a boat of some sort in the middle of the lake is not a good thing.
Yeah, so she jumps in the lake. She swims out to this raft and like jumps into it. She calls out for Polly a few more times, like, "Hey, come on out or whatever. I know you're out there." And then of course no reply. And so she's like, "Oh, screw you, Polly." And then Jason,
all of a sudden, from the lake, stabs her up through the bottom of the boat, through her.
Yeah,
and like leaves her there.
Yeah, which James pointed out was kind of strange that the raft didn't deflate and like, her body sink into the lake or something. But
because eventually Polly does go to look for her.
Yeah, and he sees what he thinks that's her sitting out, and of course it is. He thinks
laying in a raft.
Yeah, so he swims out to her, and as soon as he comes up to her, he sees it and screams
because he realizes, oh, she's been murdered.
Yeah,
he panics, leaves it in the middle of the lake, swims toward the dock, but before he can get up there, gets stabbed in the groin.
Yeah,
with a harpoon gun,
which is the second time, if you listen to our last podcast, that somebody's gotten killed with one of those things.
Yep.
So clearly, it's not just a machete. And honestly, side note here. I am surprised how many non-machete deaths have occurred, considering that's what you always see him with. Like, he's always pictured with a machete, but really, he's not partial to it.
No, he'll take whatever's around him and bare hands, harpoon guns, corkscrews, doesn't matter.
I assumed it was going to be like, Michael Myers, he's always got the kitchen knife, the big kitchen knife.
But again, no, he doesn't.
Really? Oh, well, okay. Look, I haven't watched the Halloween films.
We won't spoil that, but again, it's one of those things where it's just the image everyone conjures up, but no, he uses whatever's available.
Yeah. Well, okay, getting off topic here for a second. Does he kill anybody with a big kitchen knife, or is that just
Who?
Michael Myers?
Yeah, of course he does. But that's not the only thing he uses.
Okay, all right. Well,
that's all.
All right, getting back to the plot. So he just got speared in the dick with a harpoon gun.
Yeah, not fun. Yeah. Not fun at all.
No.
And Terry goes and tries to leave the party early because Tina has taken Jimmy upstairs and kind of a fuck you to Teddy and is fucking him.
Yeah.
And when we find out that, thankfully, before he dies, she goes, "You were incredible."
Yeah.
Jimmy's not a dead fuck.
He's not a dead fuck.
Hooray.
Well, for like 5 more minutes.
Yeah, for 5 more minutes, he's not a dead fuck. In fact, he was incredible.
Yeah. Oh,
so he goes down to brag to Teddy, and he's looking for a bottle of wine, and he keeps asking...
Wait. Before that kill... The twin gets killed.
That's right, because Terry tries to leave early, says, "Come on, I want to go." And she's like, "Just go.
Better grab an umbrella."
Yeah, because I'm getting some dick. Get the fuck out of here.
Yeah.
Cock blocker. And so she leaves and gets speared.
Yeah, before she can even get to her bicycle.
And thrown against the side of the house.
Yeah.
Because again...
And nobody seems to hear that.
Well, because again, in the 4th straight movie, it's raining outside.
Yeah.
It's a thunderstorm. You would think that place would be constantly flooded if it literally rained every single day.
Oh, man.
Anyway, so she gets speared, and Jimmy goes downstairs to look for that bottle of wine, and while he's in the kitchen, he's like, "Hey, Teddy, you seen that fancy corkscrew?" Of course, once he starts calling out, "Where's the corkscrew?" we know what's coming.
I was like, he's about to get killed with that corkscrew. But he doesn't get killed with the corkscrew.
No, Jason comes out of nowhere and pins his hand to the cutting board with the corkscrew, and then cleavers him in the face.
Yeah.
Like, takes a meat cleaver, just kong, and kills him, which Teddy somehow doesn't hear. Like, Jimmy doesn't scream or anything, he just gets killed.
Well, Ted's high as fuck.
Yeah, Ted is high as fuck, because he's smoking some weed and watching some
lewd, like, silent films on a film reel.
What it says here on Wikipedia is stag films.
Stag. Oh, yeah, okay, I know that term.
Which is a term used to describe a type of pornographic film produced secretly in the first 2/3 of the 20th century.
Yeah. one of the first films ever made was porn. Like,
that doesn't surprise me.
Yeah.
But anyway, so he found a bunch of old Stag films, and that's what they're watching. And they're pretty happy with that.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, he's abandoned and left alone because Sarah, the virgin, and her boyfriend Doug go upstairs to take a shower. Wink, wink.
Yeah, so she's very overt about the, like, oh no, I'm gonna definitely sleep with you.
Yeah, because she's like, I'm gonna go upstairs, and he's like,
it's like, do you want to sleep on the bottom bunk?
He goes, are you tired? She goes, not particularly.
Yeah.
Do you mind sleeping on the bottom bunk tonight? And he's like, why, you want the top? And she's like, no. Pretty much clearly like, oh, it's happening. I'm giving it up to you tonight.
Yeah. Pretty much giving away her chance
of living.
Yeah, because as we've said, you have sex or you smoke pot.
And you die.
Definitely not do both.
And you die.
Yeah.
That's the guaranteed death. So they go upstairs, and while they're upstairs, the film breaks or just runs out of film on the reel.
Yeah, and it's just
and starts flapping. Flap, 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 flap. And so Teddy, all weird, like, walks up to the screen because, again, he's high as a kite.
Yeah.
And he's like, hey, Jimmy, for some reason.
Yeah.
And then, boom, he gets stabbed in the back of the head.
Through the projector screen.
And it dragged down the screen, leaving a slit and blood behind him. Kind of cool.
Mm-hmm.
And then Jason goes upstairs after Doug and Sarah finish making love in the shower. Sarah leaves the room, and Doug's in there singing a song, Tangerine.
Yeah.
Which I've never heard before.
Yeah, I haven't either.
And while he's in there, Jason comes in the room, and he thinks it's Sarah.
Yeah, coming back for seconds.
And he's like, oh, you want to sing a duet? And then since he doesn't get an answer, he goes, hey, Polly, is that you? And he makes a gay sex joke.
Yeah.
Because he's like, oh, drop the soap, buddy. Good thing you're not in here with me. And then, bam!
Yeah, Jason smashes through the shower's got one of those glass sliding doors.
Yep.
And he just busts right through it. And how does he kill him exactly? He
shoves
shoves it's like he's got the glass in his hand as he's going through it and just shoves it into his face and just crushes his face.
Like pushes his nose bone up into the brain and just kills him.
Yeah, and just shoves it up against the shower wall. Yeah.
After Jimmy and before Ted, Jason kills the other twin. She's standing at the window, remember? He literally grabs her, throws her out the window with such force that she hits the car parked below and blows out all the glass.
Yeah, that's right.
Every window and windshield gets blown out. That's how hard she hits the roof of that car.
Dang. Just from a second story window, that's a little far-fetched, but...
he has man-child strength, man. Like, he throws her hard enough.
Can't alter gravity.
I don't know,
the way you're looking at me is just...
Because he did it. We saw the glass blow out, so he did it.
Yeah.
But anyway, so now who's left?
Ted.
We talked about Ted, because then he kills Doug. Oh, Sarah finds Doug's body and screams and makes it to the front door when all of a sudden an axe gets thrown through it and straight into her chest.
Yeah.
And she just hits the ground, and that's it. All 6 of them are dead. Now all we're left with is Trish, Tommy, and Rob and their mom.
Yeah, which are in the other house that's down the way.
The mom goes outside to look for Tommy and Trish because the power's out. And she's calling for them.
And she knows, was it her that knew that
not yet. No, she doesn't know anything that's going on.
Oh yeah, she comes home, the power's out, nobody's home.
She's calling for her kids. She goes outside, she looks around, she sees something because she goes, and then that's it. We never see her again.
Yeah.
They don't find her body later on in the movie. They never mention her again. She's just disappeared.
Yeah, which you said that there's a deleted
scene where Trish finds her like floating in a bathtub or something. I can't remember exactly.
Yeah.
But she finds the body so that we know the mom is dead.
Yeah. So the mom is definitely dead. It's just not on screen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Trish and Tommy return from town discover the power outage, and while they're looking for their mother, Trish goes to find Rob for help.
Yeah, and she tells Tommy
to stay at the house and fix the power. Because like we said, he can make Hollywood quality special effects and props, fix a car, and now apparently he's an electrician.
Yeah. And apparently he's successful in it, because later the lights are on, so you assume that Tommy had something to do with it.
He did.
Yeah.
He did it. But she goes to find Rob, who's been camping, who Jason has already found his camp and destroyed his hunting rifle, unfortunately.
Yeah.
So all that leaves him with is a machete and like a pocket knife. Well, a hunting knife.
Yeah.
And so Rob explains to Trish when she finds his camp that the reason he's really out there is that he is the brother to Sandra.
Which was from the second
movie.
Yeah.
Who is a victim of Jason's.
Mm-hmm. And he knows that Jason is not at the morgue anymore. They said that the body had turned up missing, and also two
people were missing.
Two people that worked at the morgue are missing, which makes you wonder,
what did he do to their bodies?
How did they not see the blood? Like, I mean,
does Jason clean up after himself?
Maybe, I don't know, but like, of course, it says they're missing, not that they're dead or anything. So it's like, a lot of people think that his body was stolen. Like maybe those two morgue workers like took off with the body or something.
Yeah, because he's a famous murderer. He's killed.
But he's like, no, he's definitely alive, and he out.
Murdered my sister, and I'm gonna get revenge.
Yeah.
He's one of my favorite characters for that reason. They finally created someone who has a really good reason to be in the movie.
Yeah.
Like, he's not just some innocent bystander. He's like, no, my sister got killed. I've been preparing. I've been training. I've been packing.
For a week.
Since the second movie, since his sister got killed.
Yeah, which would have been the second Friday. All
right. So it's not that long, but still, like, he has a good reason to be there.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
And so he comes to get revenge, and that's when she's like, oh no, he's alive. Well, I left Tommy at the house all by himself.
Yeah.
And they run back to the house. They go next door, and of course, that's when we have our body discovery scene.
Yeah.
Because, again, Jason has to have those bodies just fall out in random places.
Yeah. Well, I mean, like, even, like, Doug. Was it Doug? No, it was Jimmy. Like, you know, he got impaled with the corkscrew and the machete to the face, but nope, he's crucified on the door.
Yeah, which we'll get to again in a minute.
Yeah.
So while they're discovering all the bodies, Gordon, the dog, flees, jumps out a window. We never see the dog again. That's never mentioned. For all of you who love pets, we're sure the dog is fine.
Yeah.
He lives.
Yeah.
He escapes. That's why he runs away.
Yeah. Smart dog.
Exactly. So meanwhile, down in the basement, Jason pops up and he gets Rob. And Rob is struggling, but not really fighting him off, which really disappoints me.
Yeah, he had a good motivation, and he should have fought back a little more.
I would have liked to seen like I told you earlier, a fight with him and Jason.
Yeah,
where he gets like one or two licks in. Killing him is fine, but at least showing him get at least one or two good blows in for his sister.
Yeah,
would have been more fulfilling.
Yeah,
and then of course he starts screaming, "He's killing me! He's killing me!
Run,
Trish, run! He's killing me!" The reason he did that, he said in an interview, is because during that time he read in a paper that in New York City something similar happened. Somebody was being mugged, and they were screaming out, "He's mugging me! He's mugging me!" And all the people who were in earshot just turned a blind eye.
Yeah. And bystander effect.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's why he screamed out the way he did. But he screams that out, and he's killed in the basement while Trish runs home, taking the machete that Rob had with her.
Yeah.
She and Tommy barricade themselves in the house.
Yeah. She nails the front door shut, which, I mean, if you haven't already learned from the previous films, and you definitely should have already learned by this point in the film, considering two windows have already been broken. Like, first the girl was thrown out and fell on the car, and then the dog jumped out. Yeah. So, I mean, this whole franchise is just hates windows. But, so of course he throws Rob's dead body, right?
Yep.
Through the window, like breaking out the wall in between the two windows.
The point. Like, I mean, like, not only does he shatter the picture window, like it's a long window.
It's a huge gaping hole.
A chunk out of the wall with it.
Yeah.
We've got to investigate his man-child strength. Like, it's great. He's taking down walls, throwing bodies.
Yeah.
So he throws Rob's body into the room, and that's how he gets into the house, and they run around.
Oh, and I want to mention at this point, the power has been fixed by Tommy.
Yeah, because Tommy has done his job correctly.
Yeah.
So Jason breaks in, and he has a claw hammer, and he throws it, and it almost hits Trish in the head and sticks in the wall. So he has man-child strength and like circus skill level knife throwing.
Oh yeah, throwing that hatchet through the door, killing Terry or whatever, whoever. Yeah.
So they chase them around. He chases the two around, Trish and Tommy, and they barricade themselves in Tommy's room. He breaks through. Trish takes a TV that's still plugged in, shoves it down on his head, and electrocutes him a little bit because you hear that.
Yeah. And he's knocked unconscious just outside the door.
And that's when she takes the machete and cuts his head off. No?
No?
Yeah, no. That's not what happens.
No, of course not.
She tells Tommy, okay, I'm going to lure him outside. You run like hell and get out of here. Where? It's pouring rain. They're in the middle of nowhere. He's like 11 years old. Where is he going to go?
Yeah.
Where is he going to run to?
Yeah. Clearly he thought about that because he didn't run.
No, he didn't. He went to the bathroom and started making himself look like Jason from when Jason drowned. So Jason and Terry chase each other. They go back to the house where all the murdered kids are. Mm-hmm. She jumps out a window and lands on her tailbone, and we hear like a thump. Like it looks like she broke something.
Yeah.
And Jason, to get out of the house, just takes Jimmy's body, which he had hung up in the doorframe, and literally just pushes it down so the nails that he had hung him up with just go straight through his hands.
No, I think that was before they went back to Trish's house.
Maybe.
Because that was in the other case.
All I remember is like he had him with like spiked to the door frame and then just pushed him off so it went right through his hands. Real gruesome.
Yeah.
But anyway, Trish runs back to the house and she's fighting Jason off with the machete, and Tommy comes down the stairs, again having disguised himself to look like Jason as a child. Mm-hmm. And he's like, Jason! Don't you remember, Jason? And he's like confusing him because, again, man-child intellect.
Well, it's just like the second film whenever Alice put on the sweater and made herself look like... Ginny?
Yeah, Ginny and Paul were in the second movie.
Oh, okay. Who was Alice? Which one was...
First movie.
First movie. Okay, sorry.
It's okay.
I can't remember all these teen names.
Okay.
It's impossible. There's so many.
But anyway, he distracts Jason long enough for Trish to get the machete and smack him in the face and cut off the mask. You didn't like the face in this movie, you said.
Yeah, I don't know. Jason's face in the third film, like whenever he showed his face to go ahead. You know
hold on. I'll think of it in a second because now you've gotten me.
Anyway.
Chris,
yeah, whenever he shows his face to Chris, like it looks like Goonies style, like
chunk love slug.
Yeah, I mean, like he looks like an actual person who's like disfigured. Whereas this one, you can clearly tell it's some.
I got that line wrong. It's Sloth Love Chunk. Sloth was the name of the guy they kept up in the basement who liked the bars.
Yeah.
Chunk was the kid who did the truffle shuffle, I think.
Oh yeah.
It's been so long since I've seen the Goonies, I can't even remember.
Yeah, but I mean, the prosthetic in this one, it was like. It was a little too over the top. It was so over the top that it was like, that doesn't look like a human face.
Well, they brought Tom Savini back. He was the special effects creator in the first movie. They referenced him in part
the third
3 by reading that article, and they brought him back because, again, this is Friday the 13th, the final chapter. It was supposed to end the franchise, end the series.
Yeah.
They originally were going to have Jason's head explode in a microwave, but that's not what they do.
Yeah, so he's confusing the hell out of Jason, saying, like, don't you remember Jason?
And so they Tommy ends up taking the machete and striking it into the side of Jason's skull.
Yeah.
And we get a good clear shot of his head just sliding down the blade, like through one of his eyes.
Yeah, that's one part where you can really tell that it's super fake, because you can see the mask or whatever the actor's wearing just kind of fold in as it's sliding
down the blade.
Yeah.
But Trish and Tommy hug each other. They're like crying with relief, even though their mom's dead and they don't seem worried about that.
Yeah.
Everyone else they've met that day has died. But then Tommy notices that Jason's hand is moving. He ain't having it. He takes that machete and he starts chopping.
Just hacking away.
And
just
screaming, die! Die! And meanwhile, Trish is just like horrified, screaming, Tommy!
Yeah, because it's like a freaking 10-year-old kid that's like
turning into a serial killer before her eyes.
Well, I mean, kind of, but at the same time, like I could get it at this point.
Screaming,
I'd be
die,
like,
die
yeah,
repeatedly.
kill him.
Make sure he's dead.
Yeah, make sure he's dead.
So after that, it fades out and fades back into the hospital where Trish is going to get surgery for her shoulder that was injured.
Apparently not her tailbone.
Yeah, which again, was positive she hurt something there.
Yeah.
But she asks about Tommy. She's like, neither of you are answering my question. Why did Tommy do that? Why did he attack the dead body? And the doctor's like, well, in extreme circumstances, people often react unexpectedly.
Yeah.
So there's nothing weird about it at all. She goes, can I see him? And they let Tommy into the room, and he rushes over to her. Weirdly, being in the hospital, they didn't fix his hair. He had left patches of hair on his head, so you'd think the hospital would have just shaved the rest of his head.
Yeah.
Not left him, with stringy patches everywhere.
I don't know, yeah.
But anyway, he and Trish embrace, and he's just a nice face, but then his eyes just open, and he gives a dead-eyed stare into the camera.
Kind of crazed look, yeah.
Oh, Tommy's not well.
Yeah.
Tommy's not okay.
And that's how the movie ends.
Yep.
So, and then you get no end credit scene.
No end credit scene. You're right. There's no end stinger on this movie.
Yeah, not the kind of end stinger is his crazed, dead-eye look.
Yeah, I guess.
At the camera, it's like, oh, this
doesn't. Yeah,
has traumatized him so much. Like now he's gone crazy. So, but yeah, so Jason is presumably dead now because Tommy hacked his face to oblivion, and
this is the end of the franchise. But because this movie made $32 million when it only had a budget of $2.6 million.
Oh yeah, it was making money hand over fist.
11 months later, they released Friday the 13th Part 5, A New Beginning.
Which you can also see on Amazon Prime, because he has a box set. That's what we've been
I have
watching.
A box set for the first 8, and then I have a 2-disc set for parts 9 and 10.
Yeah. But right now, you can see that you can stream them on Amazon Prime if you have an Amazon Prime account and you want to watch these films or you want to go through this with us. Definitely check that out. Yeah. You can see, I know for a fact, 1 through 5 because I saw them on there. I'm not sure about the ones after that, but I can tell you that if they don't have all of them, you can see Jason X as well as the new reboot on Netflix. Because they have those 2 films.
Yep.
Yeah.
So before we finish up, what would you give this one out of 10?
Really, I'd say 8 or 8.5 out of 10. It was probably my favorite out of the ones that I've seen, honestly.
See, and I'm right up there too. I'm 8 out of 10.
It's a really good film.
Out of the 3 sequels to the original, this is one of the strongest.
Yeah, and it's
this and Part 2 are far and away
probably my biggest
best sequels so
reasons for giving it a higher score is one, Tommy, and the reason why is because it really adds some extra high stakes, is there's a child in danger sort of thing.
And it's the first time we've seen a real child in danger too.
Yeah.
It's been teenagers, but with this 11-year-old kid, there's some real stakes in here.
Yeah. And you almost kind of wonder I kind of wondered if Jason would even be violent towards Tommy in particular, because I was his kind of MO is teenagers who are off having sex because he
slash sinners kind of thing.
Yeah, and so you've got Tommy who's just a small child. I wondered how he would react around that kid, if he would try to actually kill Tommy or if he was just after Trish, which I don't know if we got a real clear answer to that. I don't think he explicitly went after Tommy.
No, but there is a scene where one's on one side of him and one's on the other, and he is kind of torn between which one to go after.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe Jason would kill kids.
But I liked the fact that they had Tommy in it. And like you, I really liked Rob's character because it tied back to the previous films. But also like you, I am disappointed with how he went out.
Yeah, again, it's they had this great idea for a character, but they just didn't quite use him right.
And he would have been the perfect one to do the death blow to. Take Tommy and replace him with Rob in the final scene.
Oh yeah,
it would have made way more sense.
He could have said something first Sandra and then boom, gotten that final blow.
Yeah, I expected a little more from his character.
And like I said, even if you want to kill him, because you could make it even more dramatic of he gets a couple of good licks in and he's doing it for his sister and then he tragically gets killed.
Yeah.
There are just better ways to handle that character.
Yeah. No, he just runs head first into a dark basement and gets...
He's killing me! Oh, he's killing me!
He gets wrecked. Well, we're actually kind of running a little late on time, so how about we wrap this thing up, James?
Oh, no problem, Billy. So if you haven't already, go to our Facebook page and like us and follow us on that. We also have a YouTube page that you can like and subscribe to. We post videos on there from time to time.
And you can find the links to all of these in our description on our Podbean.
We are also on Spotify if you don't want to continually download our episodes onto your phone every time.
Yeah, which is free, by the way. Just throwing that out there. It is free. If you want to download them to your phone, it's perfectly fine. Doesn't cost a dime.
But make sure you give us a like and a listen anytime you want, and make sure you comment. Let us know what you want to hear, so that we know what we wanted to do in future episodes.
And definitely look forward to the next one, which will be Friday the 13th, Part 5, which does it have
a new beginning?
A new beginning, yes. So we're definitely looking forward to that. So we will see you next week, and y'all have a great night.
And so make sure, if you've listened this far, to comment, "He's killing me," on our Facebook page.